They know all about my life as a professional dominatrix. I mentioned earlier, my mother, she was one of the first people I called when I got hired by the lady who opened the escort service. I called her all excited. I'm done being a stripper. I got a job. I'm gonna go to people's homes and tie them up and beat them. I'm gonna be a dominatrix working for an escort service. Isn't that great, Ma? It didn't occur to me that it might not be the most appropriate thing to tell my mother. Like, who calls their mom up and says, I'm a dominatrix now, isn't that great? She took it in a way that led me to believe that it was totally acceptable. Well then, that sounds really exciting. Are you sure you know what you're getting into, Lucy? Does Ethel know about this? She took a deep breath, cut the conversation short. Neither of my parents have ever said anything like, when are you gonna get a real job? I was picking up some business cards at Kinko's, and my dad was with me. He looked over at me and said, how long are you gonna do this gig? What's the lifespan on it anyway? Like 5 years? What are you gonna do with the rest of your life, kid? Oh no, women do this well into their 60s and 70s sometimes. This is a career. Well, I didn't realize that then. And that was it. It's the only thing that either of my parents have ever said about this gig. They're free-thinking, radical kinds of people. Old hippies. It never dawned on me that it was anything inappropriate to do. And it certainly never occurred to me to keep it from them. Not in a million years. Though I wasn't keeping it from my parents. I was keeping it from everybody else. I was living in this little town and I had a normal life. I was trying to live it. When my husband got sick, I had a lot of my normal vanilla friends in to help me take care of things. And 6 months later, when he died, they came in to help me cope. They discovered pretty rapidly what I'd been doing for a living. They had a lot of free time on their hands. They were women in their 40s who had husbands who worked, so they didn't have to. They started having meetings to discuss me when I wasn't around. One day, 3 of them showed up unannounced. We're here. They sat me down and told me that I needed to not work as a dominatrix anymore, that it wasn't right for me. Told me I needed to go to Naropa and become a psychotherapist. It didn't matter that I didn't want to be a psychotherapist. It wasn't their choice. It was very touching. It still is, looking back. I mean, I understand that they cared about me, but it was this moment where these women were knocking on my door saying, we're the straight and narrow community. You know, we're here to make sure that you get your shit together. It was at that moment that I realized they were running me out of town. Maybe they didn't know it, but I was getting antsy to move on with my life. They were trying to force me to change.